This is magnificent.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, that's how it always starts. But then later there's running and screaming.
He was way up in the sky and the parachute didn't open up. And when he landed,
and the triggers kind of fell off of my guns.
We need to get us fast internet.
how am I going to do that?
By going to highest net meter and just pay about $10 a month for new.
Right now we only have a 10 gigabyte bandwidth, so we can only have 10 gigabytes of internet, and that's only once every month.
I don't know how this works. Hi, welcome to Comedy Parenting Radio once again, folks. We want to thank all of our listeners and welcome you guys that are listening on iHeart and iTunes, iPads, and even the people with the smoke signals. One of our newest listening cities is from Boca Raton, Florida. So somebody there in Boca Raton is doing a lot of listening to Comedy Parenting Radio. Thanks, guys. And I've got the gang up here. We're going to be talking about broken toys. Have any of you guys ever had a broken toy?
Yeah,
Have we
never,
had broken
ever.
toys?
No,
Oh,
never.
yeah.
We've never broken one toy in our life, even
Right.
when we were a baby.
Well, we're going to be right back with broken toys.
Are you a failure as a parent or grandparent? Do your little ones cry for no apparent reason?
Do you have lots of money?
If you answered yes to these or any other invasive questions, we have good news for you. Treesock Press was named after a cat.
A very cute cat.
Treesock Press printed a book. That book is available in nearly indestructible hardback form and is printed with non-toxic ink so your little dinosaur can virtually eat the book. If this all seems too good to be true, you can go buy a cheap Disney book that's printed in China. Books printed in China aren't as good for teething toddlers as ones printed in Wisconsin.
What's the name of our book?
Dad the Tooth Fairy Didn't Come. This book is funnier than a root canal on a sinking ship.
I didn't know ships had teeth.
Order your copies of Dad the Tooth Fairy Didn't Come from Amazon today. Or tomorrow if you're on the international dateline.
Comedy Parenting Radio.
Kick off your shoes, come on in. Yeah, we know how to work and we know how to play. We're from the country and we like it that way.
Welcome back to Comedy Parenting Radio, Broken Toys. Now, I think that we're the only family that's ever had things broken. I mean, that's the way I kind of get it, because I never hear about anybody else having broken stuff. Has anybody ever had a major broken anything toys?
Yeah.
Courtney?
Well, it wasn't necessarily major, but for me it was very major.
That's the thing about toys, is it's always traumatic to the person who has the broken thing, right?
Yeah.
What was it?
My favorite Polly Pocket when I was a little girl.
What's a Polly Pocket?
Polly Pocket is about a 2-inch little posable doll that you can make clothes for and stuff.
How can you break something that's only 2 inches high?
Well, I personally didn't break it, but one day it got stolen by a chipmunk. And I thought I lost it forever. But then, about a year later, it showed back up with its arm and its leg missing.
Oh my! I had a G.I. Joe that was missing an arm one time. I couldn't afford the parachute. Maybe they didn't even have parachutes, but I wanted to take my G.I. Joe parachuting, so I made a parachute out of a bandana and some thread. And I don't know if I threw him off the roof of the house or what, but he was way up in the sky and the parachute didn't open up. And when he landed, his arm popped off.
Oops.
Yeah, so...
That's kind of funny, because I actually have a G.I. Joe that I tried parachuting and his arm fell off.
Every generation needs to try parachuting at G.I. Joe
Without an actual parachute.
with a bandana or something like that.
I don't know when it was, but maybe it was my first Lego set. About a couple of years.
Whoa. Lego set.
Yes.
May I point out that Legos all start out as sets,
Yes.
and then it just becomes like Lego mush, like Lego
Conglomerate.
soup.
Lego Collective Minds.
No, it's like Lego stew. There's just millions of Legos in this big bin just kind of swirling around.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
But when I got my first Lego set, about a couple of years later, the leg started. It was able to snap off, and so I was able to. I turn my Ranger into Indiana Jones, and I took a rock and then I'd pretend that my fist was the boulder, and then my fist rolled over him, and then the leg was able. I was able to tweak the leg off. Well, after it rolled over.
Any of you guys had something that didn't work? A BB gun or anything that ever broke?
Oh, yeah. I actually had a toy double-barrel shotgun as a kid. It looked pretty much like a sawed-off double-barrel shotgun with orange things on the end, and you could stick the shells in and out of it, but it wouldn't fire. It would just make noises. But my favorite part of that was when it would break open and the shells would eject. So I would just do that over and over and over and over again.
To pop the shells out.
To pop it off.
You're listening to Comedy Parenting Radio. We'll be right back.
There goes the washing machine. Baby, don't kick it. Promise I'll fix it. Long about a million other things. Man, it's okay. It's so nice. It's just another day in paradise where there's no...
Steven.
Who said that?
Me, down here.
Ugh, what are you, a yellow booger?
I'm a banana slug, Steven.
What are you doing in my room?
I'm your sense of adventure. It's been a long time since we've had an adventure in the forest.
Mom took me to the forest last year.
I'm a slug, Steven. It took me a long time to get here.
You're right. I should get out.
Yeah, the forest is not that far away.
Hey, Mom!
Come to the forest where the more adventurous you lives. Check out discovertheforest.org for cool places nearby. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
She looked at me in a way that asked, did you have a nose job or something? I'm only asking, 'cause your nose looks slightly better than the rest of your face.
Captain, I must inform you, you are listening to Comedy Parenting Radio.
Launch countermeasures.
Perhaps you should read the instructions first.
I hear the drums echoing tonight.
Yeah, Courtney, what's up?
Well, when I was young, fairly younger than I am now, I used to have a cowboy set with a hat and double pistols and the badge and everything, and I was Tarantula, the cowboy of the West. I could be either a sheriff or a bad guy. I had a black hat and two guns. They were really cool plastic toy guns, and I was Tarantula. I had a prominent underbutt and everything like that, and I would walk around all grouchy and growly and stuff, and I enjoyed playing with that all the way up until I was 12 or so, but then, sadly enough, my gun belt broke, and the triggers kind of fell off of my guns, and the pin broke on my sheriff badge, so Tarantula is no more.
Have you ever played with a broken toy as if it was just perfectly normal?
Oh, yes, all the time. Yeah. A lot of my Breyer horses are like that. Mm-hmm. They're still perfect, and actually makes them cooler.
I had a little figurine of a guy who had he had a silver and red suit on. He was dressed in a spacesuit. It was silver and red, and he had a buckle that said R on it, and he had a mustache. So I named him Ryan. He was actually the antagonist of most of our plays, but he was missing a finger. The pink flamingos in the land of Lakes butter.
Yep.
We had many of those.
And we would eat so many butter and peanut butter sandwiches because we were the pink flamingos, and we had Land of Lakes butter, and that's what we had to do to keep our club going, was just eat lots of butter.
Otherwise, Ryan and the margarine people would take over.
Dave, what are you doing?
Just sending a gift to Dave 2037.
Who?
Me in the future. I save a little money from every paycheck as a gift to Dave 2037, so he can spend it on things like anti-gravity boots or a hologram Doberman, something cool like that. I think Dave 2037 deserves it. He worked hard. What are you getting Steve 2037?
I guess I was thinking Steve 2037 would just fend for himself.
Well, alright, but don't expect to be borrowing my anti-gravity boots.
You want to have money in your future? You got to start saving now. Putting some money from every paycheck into a savings account or contributing to your 401k can make a big difference later. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free ideas and easy ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. That's feedthepig.org.
Hey, let's just hope Steve 2037 doesn't get his hands on a cool time machine, because he is going to come back here and knock some sense into you.
This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Comedy Parenting Radio. We're talking about broken toys. Have you ever played with anybody else's broken toys? Like they had gone to somebody's house or something? I did when I was a kid. We couldn't afford things like, say, Rock'em Sock'em Robots, that type of thing. So you go to somebody's house and it's like, oh, look, Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Yeah, but this guy's arm is busted and the other guy's head came off. Well, we'll still play anyway, And the other kid's like, yeah, right. And so you're playing with their broken toys, or maybe half of a racetrack set or something,
Right.
Yeah. Josiah, you have any broken toys in your room?
Yes.
Tell me about them.
It's my ship. Sadly, when I was carrying it upstairs today, I accidentally grabbed the top that detached from the bottom, and the bottom fell into pieces.
But it's a Lego ship, right?
Yes, so it can be rebuilt.
Yeah, Lego ships can always be rebuilt, as opposed to your brother's model ship, which is, what's that, 3-foot-long ship?
Yeah, the USS Kitty Hawk.
The USS
can be rebuilt.
It's about 3 feet long.
You can't rebuild that because you don't have any instructions or anything. It's just...
Yeah, you could rebuild it.
You don't have any instructions, do you?
But it's a fairly simple design.
You don't have any instructions. Would somebody agree with me that you don't have any instructions?
Yes.
But you don't...
Yes, I agree with you.
There were no instructions for that ship.
Yes, there were.
There were.
There are not any right now, though.
Right. What type of toy, if it breaks, would be dangerous, but people still play with it?
Anything made of glass.
What kind of a toy is made out of glass?
Briar horses.
Glass?
Well,
porcelain
kind of
or something.
Glass. Porcelain.
They're not made out of glass.
They can be rather sharp.
They're made out of plastic.
I don't know what kind of briar horses you have, but the ones I have are not made out of plastic.
Yeah, they're all made out of plastic.
They're made of something much more fragile.
Really? Like what?
Porcelain or something.
No, porcelain. That would be like a $500 horse.
Something glass or glass-ish.
Yeah.
Not plastic because they're too fragile for that.
Well, or another one that breaks could be dangerous would be a water balloon. People could choke on it.
Yeah, water balloons could be dangerous maybe.
You don't really reuse those though.
No. And you don't play with them after they break. That's an interesting thing is you don't play with water balloons after they break, but there are some toys you might play with after they break.
Right.
Elijah has plenty of broken Nerf guns. You put the bullet in and you shoot and it just goes poot onto the ground in front of you.
Hey, Elijah, how many broken Nerf guns do you own, or does our family own?
Probably all of them.
Not my minigun. That thing
the broken
fires.
Nerf guns.
How many guns?
I'm guessing around 12, because that's our Nerf gun collection. There's 12 Nerf guns.
Nice collection.
Thanks.
Okay, you've been listening to Comedy Parenting Radio, Broken Toys, and like I said, we're the only ones that ever have them, and we still have a bunch of them around the house. Catch us next time. Oh, guys, before you go, by the way.
Yeah?
Would you take all those Nerf guns out the door with you?
My pleasure.
Absolutely.
My pleasure.
Bye-bye.
sonic screwdriver.
I do.